Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game featuring Look at the Stars. My name is Christine, and in this video I'll give you an overview of how the game is played and then share some final thoughts on the game to help you decide if you want to add Look at the Stars in your collection. This is the game Look at the Stars, and this is a flip and write game. And what we're doing is we'll be flipping over cards to draw constellations onto our board. And our goal is to have a constellation that has three pieces to it, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you have 2 3s, you only score once. So you want all your constellation to be different sizes. You also score for these planets, the constellations around the planets, shooting stars, and bonuses. So we'll go through each of the pieces individually. So to start off, to set up the game, you set up 3 piles of 6 cards. The game takes place over 3 rounds. And once we finish round 1, we can no longer draw below these arrows. After round 2, we can no longer draw below these arrows. So we want to start at the bottom and work our way up. Now you have these cards that you've randomly done, but there's some extra cards. So each game will be a little different. And just so you know, basically the cards have 2 pieces on them that you're going to add to your board. Now, as I mentioned, there's also bonus cards. There's 2 types. There's types like this that gives you bonus at the end of the game, some scoring points. So if you have drawn this shape during playing, you can receive, in this case, 6 bonus points each time you have this constellation on your board. And there's all different ones. The other bonus cards give you little bonuses while you are working. So with this bonus card, you'll be able to, if you complete this shape, you can add an additional planet to your board, which will get you points at the end of the game. Whereas this one we're using here allows us to draw an additional line onto our board if we complete it the way it shows there. So there's different bonus cards that you can get throughout the game. And then one other special card is the shooting star. And when this card comes up, there's 3 of them, so you may or may not get them during your game if it's just random. When this card comes up, you can draw a shooting star. And the thing with the shooting stars is that nothing else can touch it. You can't have any constellation going through it. It has to be by itself. And it's up to you. You can draw it 1, 2, or 3, and depending how long it is will depend how many points you will get at the end of the game. Now, it comes with, I already showed you the boards, right? No? Okay, so it comes with 8 boards, sorry. I was going to do this earlier. It comes with 8 boards, so 8 people can play, and each board is a little different. You can notice the planet on this board is here, whereas there's a planet over here and here. They all have the same number of planets and little shooting stars, but they're all going to be placed a little differently. And even though it says it's a 2 to 8 player game, there's no reason why you can't play it solo. You would just score and try and get a better score than the last time you played. Okay, so we will start. So we're going to start with our first pile, and all you do is you flip it over. Now you can place these any way. You can rotate it and place them in any way you want, but this one isn't a good example, but in some of them you can't flip them. You can rotate, but you can't flip it and do it the opposite direction. So you can always put it closer, because sometimes when you're starting, you're trying to figure it out. So this one I could put here, and once it dries, it gets whiter. And then here. And so those are my 2 that would go with that. So then we would flip over another card. Oh, we got a shooting star. And I think I'm going to put it maybe down here. So it connects 4. So it's 1, 2, 3. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I make a little star. And so therefore, I cannot put any constellation attached to that going forward. So this is what I mean. When it's like this, you can rotate it, but you can't flip it. So it's basically an L I need to put somewhere. So I can connect these, because if it's like this, I can do this. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 on that constellation. So then this one, with the moons, what you do is you score for each constellation that is around it. So right now this would be 1 point. So if I can get another constellation later here, I would score another point. So maybe I will do this and this. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's see, where could I put this? I think I could put this here and then this here, like that. So now I am at 8 for this one, so I don't want to put anything else here. And I'm going to just color in my 8 to show that I completed it. And we'll do one more. So now I want to start somewhere fresh, but this is my last card. So this is the last time I can put anything below this line. But at this point, there's not much space to put anything below that line. And I don't want to interfere with this one. So maybe what I will do, if I put one here, I think this one can go here to match that. And so that's basically, I finished round 1. And so now, as I said, I can only work above this line and start filling it up here. But after round 1, I've completed an 8 and I've started a couple others and I have a shooting star. So I'm going to continue through round 2 and then I'll come back and show you where we're at. So I completed the second round and I now have, this is a 7 piece constellation and a 6. And I was able to get this bonus here and add on an extra piece. I'll put that back down there. So now going forward, I can't work below here. So I have this one constellation here. That one's just going to be left to its own devices. There's nothing more I can do to that. I can only work above here. So I'm going to do the final stack and then come back and show you. So I completed the game. You can have some idea of what your board might look like. And I want to talk about a couple challenges I had. I got a shooting star as the last card. So I only was able to make a double because it can't touch anything else. And then some of these were really difficult to fit in once you're starting to fit in here. Because you can't touch any of these. You can't go through these images. You can only go from star to star. And then this one, being really far apart, I really had to look for a place where I could place it. I don't even remember where I ended up doing it. But it's quite difficult to get things that are really far apart so late in the game. And then here I had a couple angles, and then these weren't so bad. But yeah, you can get some of these really challenging ones. Now you don't have to, if you can't place it on your board, you don't have to place it. And you can only place it if you can place both. You can't just place one of it and be done. You have to be able to place both. And if you can't, you just don't do it. So anyway, I was able to get, I wasn't able to get the 4, but I got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would get me 29 points. When it comes to the planets, it has to be a constellation of 3 or more. So around this planet, I have 1, 2. Here I have 3, 4, because it's within the zone. And here, I think this one would count as 1, because it's within the space. So I have 5. So let's see, can I do a backwards 5? Is that a 5? No, upside down. You get it though, it's a 5. Sorry, I'm upside down and backwards. The stars, I had 2 stars. This one was a 3 and this one was a thing. Oh, another 5. Okay, let's see, is it this? There, I did it that time. Now this is your bonus cards, and this bonus card wanted me to get a cross. And I got close, but I didn't actually get a cross. so I would get 0 points. And the other bonus card was just, in our case, a placement to place an extra piece. So there's no bonuses with that one. So in my game, I would get 39. 39. So that's basically how the game is played. It's simple, but for me, I love this, especially being a star theme. I really like playing it at night. It's relaxing and you're just sort of making little constellations in the sky. So I played this game with Gemma, and overall both of us really enjoy playing it. And what's great is if you do have a large group of people, there are 8 boards, which is quite high in a lot of these new roll and write games where they come with these reusable boards. I also like the fact that there's a bunch of these cards. So each game you're going to be getting different cards. You shuffle them up and then lay them out. So it's always going to be new challenges for each game. And there's so many different little bonus cards too. We have yet to actually complete this bonus card in all the games we played, but I wasn't really making it a focus. So maybe if I actually tried, I should be able to do it, but it wasn't something I was thinking about when I was laying down the stars. And this is one of those games where, for me personally, I'm not so concerned about my score. It's just enjoyable and relaxing, just sort of making up your little starry night. Now, the only thing that might be a little concerning down the road is the fact that these are like white dry erase markers that I'm not sure where you can get replacements for them. Black ones, sure, but white is a lot harder to find. You do get 8 markers in the set, for one for each person, as well as 8 of these little erase pieces of material. So if you like roll and write games or flip and write games and you like the theme of the stars, I think you'll really enjoy this game. So let me know in the comments if you have played Look at the Stars and what you think of the game.